What's up, Kunal? Wrapping up the week before we go into our long weekend, and I'm absolutely sure I'm going to be in withdrawals come Monday morning when the stock market doesn't open. So I'm going to check out our portfolio now. I figured we run down some of what I got going on, and then maybe we'll do some chit chat, a little Q&A. I'm using a new computer, by the way. Can everybody hear me all right? I got all my new settings, some new hardware. Finally, I upgraded. I took your guys' Patreon money and turned it into a computer. What's up, Lucas? Yeah, you guys let me know how the sound is. Caleb Gaddis almost bought Baba. 2:30 call a week ago and now he's sad. I guess Baba went up, huh? Alright. Hear me perfectly? Alright, cool. Yeah, I'll wait for a couple more people to roll in. I figured this would be a cool way to end the week before we go into a long weekend and I don't know what to do with myself on Monday. We're looking pretty good this week, huh? Everybody made money? I came out on top this week. This one account here has got, I'm up 6,000 today. That's pretty good. Good start. Background music's tiny. Yeah, that's on purpose. I don't want to get demonetized by using copyrighted music. Thoughts on Microsoft puts? I think I'd rather not invest than invest in Microsoft puts. Kunal, appreciate it, man. Oh, I got this new thing. Check this out. Every time somebody super chats, here's what we're gonna do. Woo! Lock and load. What's up, Hopped? Thank you, Kunal, for the literally free money. I'm going out with the boys tonight, so you just bought me my first beer. So, oh, interesting question. So, Theo is looking at my portfolio and he saw that I have a QYLD put. So I'm actually very bullish on QYLD because I want the fixed income. They send you money every month, really not too many questions asked. You get between 20 cents, 19 cents a month per share. So I'm long shares. I'm long 1,400 shares, which are down about 1.2% right now. But they give me about $300 a month, so it almost doesn't even matter. What I did here was I sold a put on QYLD because there was a bid on it. So somebody, for whatever reason, or there was an ask rather, somebody wanted to buy a $20 strike put on QYLD expiring on August 20th. I thought that was one of the dumbest trades somebody out there could make. So I went ahead and I sold it to him for 29 bucks, knowing that it was going to be completely worthless by August. And so far we're up 83%. I would just close it out right now if I didn't have to worry about the commissions, but I don't want to give Merrill Lynch 50 cents. I want to keep that 50 cents in addition. So I'm just going to let this thing expire, and that's going to give me enough money to buy one more share. So that's another 19 cents per month for the rest of my life. It's not printing, but hey, it's good stuff. We got a couple of people in here now. No, that's not from the sponsor, though, Kunal. That's my wife gave that to me for our anniversary, actually. But let's do some portfolio stuff real quick. I want to show you guys what I'm working with. So everybody on Patreon always gets this every month, but I usually don't share it outside that circle. So there's a handful of hot ones, and then there's a lot of junk going on right now. But one thing I'm always going to buy and hold forever is Apple. We've got rumors now that they're going to release something on Project Titan, going to tell us all about their car, and I think that's going to send stocks higher. And even if not, even if Apple doesn't release its car or any big news, this company just prints money all the time. So I bought myself some Leaps. Those are up 44%, and the shares I've been holding forever. No plans on ever selling them. I'm going to retire with these things. 565 of them, up big. I've had these since like 2016. As you guys will see here, next one, I am still bag holding Coinbase. I was really, really excited about it. I got an average price of $372. And I'm down 35%. This has probably been one of my worst investments ever. But I have sold covered calls on it a few times, and I was able to recover maybe $1,400 bucks. But having over 100 shares like that, you just sell your covered call, wheel it right back in, buy some more shares. I still have good faith in Coinbase. It's like the toll booth of cryptocurrency. I mean, you can't beat this thing. In the long term. In the short term, you can obviously beat it with some puts. Energy transfer, that's for dividend. So I wanted to start getting into straddles and strangles, a little bit more sophisticated than my wheel. So I started strangling EWZ, which is the Brazil ETF, and manifested, I'm doing the Snap PMCC, I'll get there too. EWZ it stays usually between its range of like $42 down to $36. So you're talking about the perfect area for a strangle. I wanted to get a little bit more aggressive, and I sold a straddle on it. So right now, this particular set is up 203 minus 83, so about 130 bucks. And then I've made 88 last week with another one, and then I was able to buy 24 shares with a premium from doing this. So I think it's great to use undefined risk strategies, or really any strategy for that matter. Sell your options, get money, and then roll that right back into shares that you know are going to be there for the rest of your life. So Brazil, this is my investment into Brazil. Once this expires on the 16th, I'll just roll that right into more shares. All right, this is what I call the Sonic spread on GameStop, right? All of us that are in Theta Gang, we want to sell puts on these meme stocks because the premiums are so high, but none of us really want to sell. None of us want to take assignment on GameStop or on AMC. I'm not that crazy that I'm actually going to sell a naked put on GameStop just to pull some premium. That's a recipe for disaster, because this stock could rise or drop by $100 a day. I don't want to get assigned at 205 when the stock is trading down at 50 again. So here's what we do. I'm selling very short-term puts. So this one's expiring next week. It's down a little bit right now. But earlier this week, I was able to pull $1,100 by selling a put that I closed. And here I opened up a new one. And that's just a short put. But I want to protect myself in case the stock goes down. So I went and bought a 150 put expiring in October. And that cost me about $2,000. But I gained about $1,000 this week already just from doing that. Just from selling, paid for half of this put already. Once this expires next week, I expect that I'll have recovered that additional $1,000. Now I've got a put giving me protection for the next 3 months while I sell these short puts against GameStop. I call this the Sonic spread because I'm wheeling it and I also have a hedge. I'll make a video on that eventually. Coca-Cola, this is just for the dividend. LRCX is probably what I am the most bullish on. Really proud of this one. If you don't have LRCX, just buy LRCX. Don't even ask any questions. These are the guys that they make the machines and the components that other companies need in order to make microchips. And the big push for the US right now to start building microchips, this company's going to do really well. All right, Mara, I don't even want to talk about Mara. I'm just wheeling it. Shares are down a little bit right now. I'm still about to get assigned on my covered calls anyway. I probably just got assigned about a minute ago, now that the market's closed. But I'm just going to keep wheeling it, keep throwing it into shares of something else. Altria, dividend. Palantir, I'm still bullish on Palantir. I think they're fun. Prudential, buy shares of Prudential and hold them. They got a great dividend, awesome company. You can't beat this one. So I'm big on Prudential. That's probably been one of my more confident investments that I've made. All right, Triple Q, there's not much to say there. It's the NASDAQ ETF. Win it. This one I just straight gambled and bought a put today for $2 because I had some money left over from we'll get to that. QYLD, dividend, SMH. All right, this is the Van Eyck Semiconductors ETF. I'm bullish on semiconductors, so I hold this thing. And Snap. All right, this is the fun one. So I'm doing a PMCC on Snap. I bought 10 leaps expiring in 2023, which was overkill. You don't need to go that far out, but I did. That'll have about the 80 delta. And then I started selling all of these short calls in here, using these leaps as collateral to sell covered calls in the traditional old PMCC. Right now, the stock has risen quite a bit, so some of these are in the money. But pretty much every month, I've been able to peel a few $100s at a time. As the leaps have been rising, I'm peeling some additional money from this PMCC. And that's been thrown into shares of Snap and shares of dividend stocks. And it's been taking care of me. I've recently started just buying shares of Snap with these premiums. I expect to keep doing that, and I want to get to the point where I have 100 shares. That way I can sell an additional covered call. Space, I don't know, it's just a silly one, but this is leftovers from another PMCC that I had on Space, where I took the premium, dumped it into shares. I still have this 22 shares of detritus left over. All right, SPHD, dividend. You always want to have some SPY in your portfolio. So I bought leaps instead of shares because I didn't have enough money to buy. all those shares. Now I've got, I mean, the delta on this 250 SPY call is like 80, 95, something like, it's between like 80 and 90. So that's like owning 240 shares for, the cheap price of 55,000. So it's not bad. Tesla is Tesla. So I'm selling puts on Tesla to pull some money in that I'm going to reinvest into shares. Made 2,200 over the last couple of weeks with this one. And then I sold a put today on Tesla, about 15% out of the money, and it gave me $11, so I bought some lunch with it. It's just a wheel. Wish, these got destroyed, but I bought calls on Wish, way, way, way out of the money. And then once they doubled in value, I sold half of them, so I was already fully protected. Even if Wish crashed like it did, I would still end up coming out on top. So I've been dollar cost averaging out on the way up, and now that it's on the way down, I have nothing to fear. I can just let these things ride. All right, Workhorse and XLF, whatever. But yeah, that's me, and I've got about $20,000 in cash left over, just in case I do get assigned on this GameStop position. And then I can take assignment and start selling covered calls on GameStop. That's just free money. So that's been fun stuff. What have you guys been playing this week? What's the big move? I know that AMD was really popular. So this one I called out when it was, I think it had dipped, what time frame am I looking at here? I think when it was dipping down into these 70s level, I was like, man, that is a good stock to pick up. And I mean, sure enough, it killed it. We saw a MACD crossover right here in May, and that was our buy signal right there. Oh, you guys can't see it in the way. I forgot to switch over my bad. Whoop, there we go. Totally forgot to switch that over. Like I said, I got a new machine here, so I'm just getting used to this. And make sure, yeah, you guys can see. When we had a MACD crossover right here on May 21st, that was our buy signal right there. And I knew it was a good price. I already have so much semiconductor exposure already, I didn't even want to play with it. And I've got some of these through my holdings in SMH, which is the ETF for it. But that was our buy signal, and you can see this thing just shot up, and deservedly so. I mean, AMD is doing great as a company. I think those $100 prices are coming back, and I think it'll be worth it too. I think it's well deserved. The way that this company just keeps peeling off market share from the bigger players, I mean, that deserves a $100 price tag, especially now that they've picked up some what was it? That other company, Xiaomi, or not Xiaomi, something with an X. What are you guys playing? CCIV, Apple popped off. Yeah, they did. AMD, Mu. The Duolingo IPO. So SkivelCon, I'm actually really excited about the Duolingo IPO because I think that's a really, really fun app. And I think it's got the meme stock potential just because it's that type of stock. I mean, it's not going to be posted here yet, but I think you've got that same type of energy that you get from the meme stocks. You're going to see that on Duolingo as well. So I'm tempted to actually take a position on it once it goes public. All right. Long on Hun, TTD. All right, so people have talked about TTD before, the trade desk. This one scares me. I remember it was Kunal, he's in here. He was calling this thing out. It must have been like the middle of May. And he's like, hey, it's gone down. Now is the time. Yeah, Zilnix is the one that AMD bought. You guys are right. Kunal called this one out. He's like, hey, this is the time to buy the trade desk. It's gone way down. It's looking like it's bottomed. And I was like, I don't know, man. I can't stomach that volatility. Next thing we know, the stock is up like 40%. Or no, not 40%. 70% since he called it out. And again, we had that MACD crossover right here. So that was a really good indicator that it was time to get in. But I can't handle stocks that's volatile. I mean, if you look at like historically where it's been, it's all over the place. That's not me. I can't invest in something like that. But Kunal made some bank off of it, that's for sure. Snap. So I'm actually really bullish on Snap. You guys brought that one up again. I think this is actually, I think the 60s are a safe place to buy Snap. The high 60s do scare me a little bit. But you've still got, I mean, the MACD doesn't look phenomenal, but it's still pretty good. Let's see, we get an RSI on here. Yeah, the RSI, I mean, it's above 60, 65. I mean, that's pretty good. You know, we had the RSI stay above 50 for a while now. It's been over a month. The MACD looks fine. It looked a little scary right here. The MACD almost crossed over negative, but it held out, and it's still going up. So that's why I'm being a little bit conservative with the way I'm playing the PMCC. I've got my 10 leaps, and those are up over $10,000. But I have to start selling further and further out of the money calls in order to make sure I'm protected from this upside. It was easy right here. You know, between May 28th and basically June 20th, so about almost 4 weeks. This was easy. All I had to do was sell covered calls on Snap, and it would just bring me money that I could reinvest. B. Matthew asks, how do I feel about Chinese stocks right now? They scare me. I just don't like Chinese stocks. So I'd only own them if it was a really well-established company with a lot of operations elsewhere. I'm usually not too huge on them. All right, Ben Grass, he says he's an Intel employee, but he thinks Intel is quite undervalued and about the stock. Yeah. You know, I actually played Intel, and I picked up some shares and leaps on it at one point, but sold them. Actually, so I timed it pretty well. I sold them here, and I think it actually was pretty darn close to this high. I sold the leaps. I bought, way down here somewhere. And so, I do agree that it's a little undervalued. I mean, Intel has kind of been taking a beating, and I don't think it's deserved. But they don't have that growth story that some of the other players do. I mean, they have a great market position, but you're not going to hear about new Intel products that really knock anyone's socks off the way you do with NVIDIA and AMD. I mean, Intel does a lot of stuff, so I think it's a good company. I don't think it has that growth energy that I need. It doesn't have that vibe. B. Matthew, I'm not going to show my Robinhood right now because I'm about to start making the video for the 3K challenge. I bought Coinbase on it, by the way. That was the one that you guys voted on, so that's what I had to do. But I hit my goals for the week. As long as Coinbase doesn't crash on Tuesday, I think I'll be good. Manifested Madness says, what percentage of a portfolio should you keep in free buying power in case something like a market pullback happens? I usually keep 3 to 5% in cash, and that's usually postured against a short put. So if I get assigned, I'd be okay. When the market goes down, I usually prefer to sell puts. That way I have some more flexibility in case it keeps dropping. You don't have to try to time the bottom that way. Yeah, so some people are also bringing up the chip shortage still. I'm really pissed off about that chip shortage, and it is hurting a lot of companies. I mean, imagine if Intel and NVIDIA and everybody could sell just as much as they wanted to. I mean, this company is freaking phenomenal. Like the bullish crossover, the same date as Snap, I think, or as Trade Desk, one of them. May 21st, MACD crossover. That's all you need. I mean, this is why I love MACD. Look, if you had identified the MACD crossover, gave yourself a little bit of space, made sure it was confirmed, you would have been buying at about 630. The thing's at 819 now, over the course of, a month? Like how much money you would have made if you had just waited for a little bit of confirmation from the MACD and went for it. Saperically. And then if you waited for a confirmation of a MACD crossover to the bearish side, you would have ended up probably selling calls or buying puts right about, if you waited for the confirmation, probably the beginning of May, and you would have closed it back out down here. You would have made some money off of that too. That's why I love MACD so much. And I like NVIDIA. I mean, this company is killing it. I remember when they were like getting made fun of. Can I do like a 1 year chart? Yeah. I remember when this company, when I first looked at it, it must have been 2009 because I was in high school. And people that their dads worked on Wall Street. I grew up in New Jersey, so there's a lot of people whose like dads work on Wall Street and stuff. They were looking at it, they were talking about the stock at like $5-6. And I was like, NVIDIA? What the hell is that company? Don't they make TVs or something? Now I'm eating my words. Things up at 819. Over the past year, it's like doubled. It's so crazy. But deserved. Yeah, Lust brings up a good point. Should you ever buy puts on NVIDIA? Yeah, I don't know, man. That's a good question. I probably wouldn't even mess with it even if I did have a crossover. Do you guys want to talk about technical analysis? I can do like a quick lesson on it if you guys are into that. I don't know how many people actually care about technical analysis, but sometimes I do. The only ones I take seriously are MACD, RSI, and can we get moving averages on here? It's exponential moving average. Where's the SMA? Why does it give me EMA? Oh, moving averages here. All right, Everett dropped me up. Got a super chat. Money. Woo! Everett, thank you. He says, what's up with Virgin Galactic? It shot up like a Bella Delphine OnlyFans account, then dropped like a Bill Cosby conviction. Nice. I love the imagery. So, space, Virgin Galactic has a really exciting business model. I don't know if they know what they want to do with it yet, but they now have authorization from like the FAA, the FAA or something like that, that they can actually go to outer space. So they are going to try to put, I think it's not the CEO, but the owner, Richard Branson, a billionaire. He wants to be the first person to go to space via a Virgin Galactic rocket. I don't even know what an airplane rocket thing. So they had a huge boost in stock price. That's why I never sold my shares, because I figured one day something stupid like this would happen. That they would shoot up for something crazy like that. Now, if this thing blows up next week when Richard Branson tries to go to space, I think the stock is likewise going to blow up downward. But for now, it looks pretty decent. All right, Skeevil Khan also, thank you very much. And he says, let's do some technical analysis. Okay, I can get on board with that. Thank you for your super chat. Oh, we got to do the thing again because he super chatted. I really like that thing. My wife got me a great gift. All right. So yep, everybody's putting it in here. Branson going to outer space. Ba-ba-ba. I hope so. All right, so let's talk about technical analysis. There's really only a few things that I take seriously when it comes to TA. I take the RSI, the moving averages, and the MACD. That's pretty much it. Everything else, it starts getting really, like if you look at Bollinger Bands, like, okay, that's kind of cool, but all right, we're outside the Bollinger Band, but because of great volume, does it make sense? Is it, whatever. I don't really care too much about that. Let's just do these things one at a time. And as we get into it, I want you guys to know there's a lot of people that would just say technical analysis is complete garbage. You should never even regard TA. It's all just nonsense. I don't believe that, but I also don't believe the people that say all you need is technical analysis. Don't worry about anything else. If you can look at a chart and read the technicals, you're golden. I don't quite believe that either. There has to be some balance. Take things with a grain of salt. Oh, Skeevil Kunt is a woman? Oh, there's a girl on this channel? Nice. Interesting. All right, thank you. Is it pronounced Skeevil? Skivel? Anyway, a lot of people don't take TA very seriously, and a lot of people take it way too seriously. Put yourself somewhere in the middle. Use this as some extra information to support the decisions you're already looking at, and then you can trade with confidence with this little extra boost of having some more information. All right, so let's look at the moving averages first, because that one is very, very intuitive. Let's see if I can get a little additional room here. Yeah, close that thing. All right. So starting with the moving averages. When people talk about moving averages, there's really two types. There's the simple moving average and the exponential moving average. Don't worry about the exponential moving average. That's for much more stuff. That actually helps you do MACD, but we won't worry about that. Simple moving average usually refers to either the 21-day simple moving average, the 30-day simple moving average. All it does is takes the closing price each day. If you're doing the 21-day moving average, it'll take the last 21 days, the close, add them all up, and then divide by 21. So you're really just getting the average closing price of the last 21 days. Every day when you're doing that, it's going to form this line. As the price moves up and down, then you're knocking off day 21, and you're adding a new day to your total value, and you wind up with this nice moving line that kind of gives you a set of averages. So you know where, how is the stock performing very well and it's gone way up above its average, its moving average, or is it way below? Now, how do we actually use this information? I think this is actually giving me a 5-day moving average right here, now that I look at it. I usually don't use Webull's TA tools, but it's giving me MA5, so this might be the 5-day moving average. Let's see if I can change it, because that doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to use that 5-day. I don't know how to change it. Oh, there we go. All right, why is it giving me... I don't even know what this is trying to tell me right now. Let's just do the 21-day. I think this is the 21-day moving average. All right. So this is much more standard. You look at the 21-day moving average. Today, on July 2nd, if you add up the price of the previous 21 days and divide by 21 to get the average, it would average out to about $39. So the stock is performing really well and it's staying above its moving average. All right. If you zoom out a little bit, you can sometimes find areas where the moving average acts as support or resistance. And here is a really good example of where it acted as resistance. Between February and May, every time the stock bounced up toward its average, it bounced right back off and started going down again. Sometimes it got close, sometimes it didn't. And then you see right here, it blew up above its moving average. And then as it started to approach it again, it bounced right off and continued the way up. So this would show you, over the next few days, the moving average will probably move up to like 42. If you can get in on the low 40s, This might be a really good opportunity. All right, that's all for moving average. It's not too complicated. All right, my next favorite is relative strength index. All right, there's a couple ways to use the RSI. When RSI is, so look at the key values. You see Webull highlights here the 30, the 70, and then you've got the 50 right in the middle. So when the moving average is above 50, that indicates that the stock has momentum and it is bullish. When it's below 50, that usually signifies a downtrend. But what we do here is when the stock is below 30, that's usually an indication that it is oversold, and it may be a good opportunity to buy because the stock has come off so far away from its average that there's probably so much downward pressure on it that it can't be sustained, or it's undeserved to have come down that low. And you can see a couple of points where it dipped below 30 and then rose back up. All right, so and then here again it rose up from below 30. And then on the other side, when it gets up above 70, that usually means it's overbought and it's time to sell. All right, but this is a very low-level form of technical analysis here. I'm not really huge on this way of using RSI, but that is the simplest way to do it. What I like to do is I look at the divergences. All right, if you see a point where, let's compare 2 points where the stock, I'm trying to think of the easiest way to explain it. Okay, the stock price hit a new low right here. All right, at a new low at about 15. But the RSI really didn't. It went down a little bit, but it almost made this little bit of a double bottom, even though the price has gone down significantly. That indicates that the downward momentum is unsustainable. And this is a really good example of it here. Double bottom on the RSI, definitely not a double bottom on the stock price. The stock cannot sustain this downtrend as indicated by the double bottom on the RSI. So you get this bullish divergence. This isn't a very strong bullish divergence, but I think it is there. Indication that the stock goes up. We also know there's news here that kind of sent things rising. There's a much more comprehensive explanation on Patreon, by the way. If you guys are on that, like I have 230 people on my Patreon, and there's like 4 people that actually read the things that they're paying for. So I don't know why you guys are even on it, but if you're on Patreon, like read the posts. I give them to you for a reason. You can get a much more thorough breakdown there. I'm trying to do this quickly. And then MACD, this is my favorite one. What MACD does is it takes the exponential moving average. All right, I remember the simple moving average. It takes the last 21 or some odd days, or 50 days, 100 days, adds it together and gives you an average price. Well, if you're looking at a 50-day moving average, 50 days back, that might not even be relevant anymore for what's happening with the stock. So what MACD does is it takes 2 exponential moving averages. It puts more emphasis on the recent days as opposed to the past days. So 3 days ago on the exponential moving average will carry more weight than the information from 25 days ago. If you plot those 2 moving averages together over different time periods, you wind up with this MACD line and signal line. Now, when the MACD line crosses the signal line, in either direction, that's an indication that the momentum has shifted. So right here, we've got momentum clearly shifting from bullish to bearish. All right, here's the crossover point. Right here, the MACD is telling you on February 16th that it's about to start shifting the momentum to a bearish situation. And here you can see it. Obviously, it worked out. Stock went crashing. And then right about here, it looks like it's fighting to do something. But the MACD is, it's not giving us any indication as the stock just dwindled down. But then right here, we have another bullish crossover on the MACD. So you wind up with this huge spike. Let's do something a little bit. Let's look at AMD instead, because this doesn't have like news jerking it all over the place. Okay, so MACD. A lot going on here. Let's look at just a couple examples. So we had a bearish crossover right here on the MACD, yellow line below the blue line, and that didn't cross over again until right here on the 15th. Really, you should probably wait until you get some confirmation. So maybe the April 6th. So if you used MACD, you'd probably have closed out right here after shorting at about 86. You would have ended up closing in the lower 80s. So you would have made something. It's not bad. All right, here's a really, really good example. You have this bullish crossover here in the end of May, and then since then, the the stock has not crossed over into bearish momentum again. The momentum is still on, going higher. So now, all the way up until July 1st, you've got bullish momentum. This is one of them that I actually called out, and I'm proud of this because I think it was the end of May. I said, hey, we just had a bullish crossover on the MACD on AMD. The stock is going to go higher, and it did. I predicted it would go into like the mid 80s. I didn't predict it would go this high. But if I had to reevaluate it from here, I'd say we've still got some pretty strong momentum. This thing's going to break 100. I'm pretty excited about it. And then Palantir was another one that I called out. I haven't checked on what this one's actually doing lately. But when we had the bullish crossover over here, I said the stock's going to go higher, and it did. I predicted 30. It looks like it got closer to about 27-ish, 28. But now we have a bearish crossover on Palantir. So I think now that we've had this bearish crossover again, I think we're going to go lower. And we're going to continue going lower until we see the momentum shift once again and the MACD crosses over positive. So that's how I use MACD. This one's my favorite. You can probably just trade off of this, and you're going to get it right more than half the time. I mean, MACD is a really, really good technical indicator in my opinion. Much stronger than the RSI. This one's kind of hard to use. Although if we do look at RSI here, it'll show us it was overbought. It was time to get out. And now the thing has dropped below 50. So the momentum is clearly shifted to the downside. Maybe it'll go all the way down to 30 again before it gets purchased up. And look over here, another good example of RSI. The stock went down. The RSI broke underneath 30 and then popped right back up. So it was oversold. People bought till it went overbought again. Now I think we'll drop down until RSI gets a little bit closer to 30 one more time. If you're at Nile Jakati saying, what am I using to do this? This is Weeble's desktop widget, if you use that. And the RSI divergences are our cheat codes. Yeah, AJ, I like the divergences too. Sometimes it's hard to find them, though. I'm really not that great at spotting divergence. This might be an example of it, but it's kind of old. You see the stock went down, but there's a double top on the RSI. That's kind of old data, though, back to the meme stock squeeze. I don't know if this is really a valid divergence. Yeah, TradingView is also a good one. MACD is my favorite. TradingView is good. I pay for Webull, so I'm using Webull's thing. But what other stocks are you guys playing right now? Well, you guys tell me. Let's look at LRCX real quick until the chat starts catching up with what I'm saying. I love LRCX. Fundamentally, I just think this is a phenomenal company. The technicals aren't looking that great on it. In fact, it's a little bit bearish, if anything. But the company itself is just fantastic. You can't beat their business model. Making machines that other companies need to make microchips. All these companies that are selling up new or buying up new properties in the Southwest in order to build new fabrication plants, they're all going to need equipment from LRCX. This is Lam Research. They're all going to need equipment from it. So this is a good way to play that big move. You don't have to pick a winner in the semiconductor space. You pick the one that's supplying the winners. Yeah, Engage, it wasn't RSI that's my favorite. It's MACD. I like RSI. I'm not huge on it. I'm much bigger on MACD. All right, how is CCXI having such high IV? I don't know about that. I don't know what CCXI is. Chemocentrics, probably because it's a biotechnology company. What did they get? FDA disapproved over here? Sent it way down? Probably. Yeah, but the MACD crossed over right here. So, say end of May. Yeah, you would have been buying at 10, now it's at 13, went all the way up to 15. You know, good stuff. All right, NVIDIA, Manu, Voltan, I don't know anything about the ultimate oscillator indicator. That's a new one for me. All right, Mason is switching from Fidelity. Do I like Webull for options? Yeah, I like Webull. It's not the best for spreads, though. If you do spreads, then you're probably better off elsewhere. I'm not going to say the R word, but Webull needs to do a little work on its spreads chain. They don't really make it easy to enter the trades that you want to. They kind of try to preset everything up, and it makes a mess out of it. Carnival Cruise Line, Microsoft. All right, let's look at Microsoft. Let's see what the technicals are saying, because a lot of people have already said that they have Microsoft and they don't know what to do. They feel like it's gone too high. All right, well, here's what technical analysis says. All right, volume is just fine. RSI is very strong. MACD is very, very strong. Candles are strong. Moving average, we're fine. I don't see any reason to get bearish on MACD. If you feel like it's gone up too much and you want to take some profit, then take some profits. But I would not dump Microsoft right now. This is a very strong pattern. Like, you don't need me to tell you that. Even if you don't know technical analysis, it doesn't take a genius to know that Microsoft is going up. So this is one I would keep. If you have a very large position, you're feeling a little bit overexposed, then just take some off, maybe sell some. If you have enough to sell a covered call, sell an out of the money covered call and pull some money back. But I would not be looking to just dump this thing right now. No way. All right, I don't know what BITF is. Zilnix, I think they're already done. XL, I think it was XL and X. Yeah, this one should be bought out by Amazon, not Amazon, AMD pretty soon. Whatever the buyout price is, that's probably what you should get in at. All right, so what are we asking for here? People say Carnival Cruise Lines. All right, we'll do Carnival Cruise Lines, Clove, Amazon, and Caterpillar. All right, Carnival Cruise Lines. One thought there. So Aaron is saying that isn't the RSI showing overbought? Yes, it is on Microsoft, but a stock can stay overbought for a really long time. Like the weakest way of using RSI is to say, hey, it's above 70, it's overbought. Like, I don't necessarily agree with that point of view. It can stay overbought for a long time. You look at Tesla. Tesla's, well, maybe not be overbought right now, but for a long period of time, relatively speaking, it was overbought. It was overbought at $400, and it was still overbought at $900. So you see what can happen with that. All right, what did I say first? We're going to do Carnival Cruise Lines. Let's take a look. Now, I know that the cruise lines, the airlines, all that, they're getting ripped up right now because of this Delta variant. Coronavirus is back. It's going to kill us all. Delta is more resistant to Johnson & Johnson vaccine. Now, whether you buy into that or not, you got to admit people are going to be a little bit more skeptical about traveling, and you're probably going to see some states put their travel restrictions back on. So I think all this easy money has been made. Like, if you were in it for easy money, you're getting there. I mean, we're not back at those 44 levels, but we're picking it up. I'm still bullish on the airlines overall. Cruise lines are a little bit more speculative. I think the technicals are showing that we're in a decline, and so far we just haven't hit that bottom yet on the MACD. Once this MACD starts flattening out, then I think it's time to get back in. At this point, I'd be looking to sell covered calls at about the $28 strike. That's my move. Or buy a call credit spread at the 28 by 30 expiring in 30 days. That's what I would do. And somebody, all right, Clove. Jeez. All right, so we got Clove and then Cat. And I think there was one other one that I said I was going to do and then forgot it. All right, I definitely would not touch Clover Health just because it's a meme stock and it's under investigation by the SEC and the judiciary at the same time. So first, I'm not touching it. But if you were just looking at the technicals, I mean, I don't see much to be that bullish about unless you think, hey, it's just going to get caught up in another retail pump that everybody thinks is a short squeeze. I don't think the short interest on this is high enough or the illiquidity is high enough. I think the stock is adequately liquid that if there was a short squeeze, everybody could just get out with no issues. Not going to be the same problems that they ran into on GameStop. I just don't see this being a good candidate for a short squeeze. I see it being a good candidate for a retail pump, but I'm not going to try to time my entry into that thing. I'm going to wait for it to start first, and then I'll get into on it. All right, Amazon, Cat, all right. All right, we'll do Caterpillar first, and then what's my take on Amazon at the moment? Any chance it'll come back down? All right, I've been seeing a lot of Caterpillar, so let's look at it together. All right, so great example right here. MACD crossover. It's crossed over a couple days ago, 2 days ago. So I think we are at a position where you can start going bullish again on Caterpillar. RSI is starting to pick back up from these oversold levels. MACD has crossed over positive. We're still below our moving average, so we might hit a little bit of resistance. But especially if we punch through this moving average and get to about 220 again, I think sky's the limit. We're going back up to these 240 levels. So I would definitely be excited about Caterpillar here. I think this is a good purchase. If you have it already, hold it. If you want to go bullish on it, if you're a little aggressive, you can do it right now because these are really good indicators. We do have this moving average that we got to contend with, though. I don't think we're going to have too much trouble with it, but if you're a conservative trader, you can wait until we pass the 220 level and blow through this moving average before we pick up. Remember, you don't have to always hit the bottom. It's okay to just buy right here and sell right here. You don't have to nail the top and bottom. Sometimes you get lucky, but that doesn't happen often. All right. Airline, vaccine, airlines. All right. Somebody wanted Amazon, so let's do Amazon. Yeah, Caterpillar. That's a good one. I might even pick up some Caterpillar there. All right, Amazon. So, okay. It's kind of all over the place, isn't it? I mean, we're above the moving average. I think this is probably not a stock I would try to fight with. If you're going to do anything on it, sell, you can't sell covered calls on this, $300,000. I mean, we're above the moving average. The MACD it looks like it's going to fight to try to stay above this and be not a breakout or not a crossover. I don't know, man. This is interesting. I want to know why it spiked up $90 in a day. I'm not going to touch this one right now. I think it's not exactly bearish, but I need to know why this big green candle happened. Otherwise, I'm not going to know how valid these indicators are. I don't know, tough one, man. I don't know about Amazon. I think it might be range bound for a while in between. Yeah, it looks like it's slowly channeling higher. Eventually, the thing's going to break out and go to $5,000, but I don't know when that's going to be. So if you're a long-term holder, just hold long-term. Simple. All right, thanks, TK. Thoughts on selling puts on Wish? No, don't even touch Wish. It's a lie. Wish is lies. And UWMC. All right, let's do Coinbase. This is actually why I chose to enter the Coinbase position for the 3K challenge, because we saw a bullish crossover on the MACD, and I can't see it getting back down to these lower 200, bottom 200s anymore. I think this is a pretty darn good one. It's come off a little bit. I think we're definitely going to find support again at the moving averages. So my choice, long on Coin. And plus, it's a phenomenal company. I mean, I don't understand why it's being treated like it's a Bitcoin miner. It's not. I mean, they've got some great stuff going for them. They're the toll booth for cryptocurrency. If you want to buy crypto, the average person is going through Coinbase. So I am bullish on Coinbase. Yeah, Wall Street Meat, he's saying Amazon's traded the same channel, 2,800 to 3,500 for the whole year. Yeah, so it can stay in that channel for a really long time. I think eventually it's going to break out again. I mean, this is Amazon we're talking about. So I think we're in a very, very long-term consolidation pattern with a very, very gradual increase. I mean, good opportunity to buy and hold and stay long. But this channel could continue another year for all we know. And then we'll start seeing one of these huge spikes again, where it doubles in price. It could be years and years away. What I've wanted to do for a long time is sell the 36 by 30 or 3,000 by 36 strangles, 90 days at a time. That would have just printed money. But, all right, does anybody want to talk about anything other than just looking at stocks? I mean, I know that's why we're here, but I mean, we could do this all day, just looking at stocks left and right. But people are getting bored, and I'm starting to lose viewers. So, anything more exciting we want to check out? I have fun with that. All right, Robinhood IPO. What do you guys think of that one? I'm actually very curious to know what you guys think of the Robinhood IPO. Let's check out. Let me reopen. Let's check out some news. Give me a second before I switch over my. What is this? They want support? Continue without supporting. All right. Let's check out the Robinhood IPO. All right, Robinhood has 18 million accounts with $80 billion in assets after rapid growth, the IPO filing finds. I think the best period of growth for Robinhood ever was during that pandemic, and it's probably going to stay that way because you had a lot of people at home. They're home from college. They're home from work. They need some way to make money. What better way than to start trading stocks? And that's why you have these huge flocks of people joining Robinhood, which is still, the common every person's go-to when it comes to cheap trading. So, I mean, they're going to keep growing by massive levels that they saw during the pandemic. Robinhood has grown its funded accounts, 80 billion. So, over the past year, they've quadrupled in the amount of assets under management. Oh, it's going to trade under the symbol Hood. Awesome. I think they're probably going to get a little bit of meme stock energy, or they're going to get absolutely pummeled by everybody buying puts on them, forcing a gamma squeeze in reverse. I would love to see that. Because honestly, I would love to see Robinhood shareholders start voting out people like Vlad. That would make me very, very happy. I don't think it's going to do anything that exciting, but if it does, then I really want to see retail start forcing out the CEO of this company. So they're going to, all right, when are they going to go? Profitable last year, generating income of $7.45 million on revenue of $959 million. That's really not a huge, that's not a big gain for that much revenue. I mean, their expenses must be very, very high. Some of those are probably just tied to the expense of filing to go IPO. I know that's a very expensive process. All right, they lost $1.4 billion in the first quarter, tied to emergency fundraising related losses during January's GameStop trading mania. Yeah, I'm not surprised there. They probably deserved even worse. They got off easy with this. They generated $522 million in revenue in the first quarter of 2021. Yes, I mean, they're definitely growing, and they're finally profitable, so good for them. They just had to burn out a whole bunch of people in order to do it. All right, Kunal says, Mikey, regarding Coin, did you see they're going to make their own Apple-inspired app store? No, I didn't know about that, but that's actually pretty cool. See? A lot of good stuff going on for Coinbase. They should not be treated as this Bitcoin miner. Like the company does not, I put this one too high, but they should not be getting treated as a Bitcoin miner. Every time Bitcoin goes down in price, Coinbase gets punished like it's going to start losing people, losing signups. I just don't see that being the case. Because when the stock price, when Bitcoin price goes down, people are selling. And you have to pay on Coinbase in order to sell. You've got to pay your commission. As long as volume is high, I don't know what the bearish case is on Coinbase. I just don't get it. Maybe that's why I'm losing money on it, because I don't get it. So, does somebody tell me? What is the bearish case on Coinbase right now? That there's other better cryptocurrency brokers out there? I mean, there's better fast food restaurants than McDonald's, but everybody keeps going to McDonald's. That's the every person fast food restaurant. Likewise, Coinbase is the everyman's, that's where they go to when they want to start trading crypto. All right, where's the, all right, Robinhood caught flack for PFOF, no surprise. When are they going to file, or when are they going to IPO? It's got to be over the next several weeks now. It's got to be. Wednesday, they were slapped with FINRA's largest penalty ever, $70 million. So that's like less than a tenth of their revenue. The settlement regards the technical failures in March 2020 when put buyers got absolutely rocked when the market recovered. I remember that. I think it was right after leap year during the pandemic. It was right after leap year, so it would have been the very beginning of March. All week long, stocks had been going down. Put buyers were money. And then that Friday, when stocks recovered and blew out all the bears, Robinhood was down, so those people could not get out of their positions. That would drive me freaking crazy if I couldn't sell my puts at a gain while the market was spiking because Robinhood wouldn't let me sell. That would drive me nuts. Misleading customers about how the app makes money. I mean, they're a pretty trashy company. I mean, I think Hood is actually a really good name for them. That's a good ticker for them because it's pretty Hood. I'd like to say I can go bullish on this thing, but I'm just not hyped up about it. All right, Mike B says fees are eventually going to go to zero on cryptocurrency. You know, maybe. Uh-oh, am I frozen? Oh no. YouTube's not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. Oh man. Well, am I dead? Are we back on? I can't tell. Alright, well that's about to kill the stream because nobody's watching anymore. That's weird, that's never happened before. Lost half the viewers in that 1 second there. That's okay. I'm back now? Alright, good. Let's see if it sustains. I don't know what happened there. That's unusual. I kicked my desktop accidentally and all of a sudden it didn't work anymore. If I put slash after the .com on Bloomberg, then it gets rid of the paywall. Okay, that's fun. Pause for a minute. Okay. All right, sounds like we're back. All right, good, good, good. What else should we look at? What else is going on in investing? Oh, you guys want to see something really cool? So I recently found this. Let's see if I can find the right one. Yeah, this is the one. All right, so let's tool around. All right, let's see what we're worth as individuals compared to everybody else. You guys see this okay? All right, let's say, all right, so I'm 30. All right, ending comparison, that's fine. All right, let's say you're 30 years old and your net worth is $25,000. Let's say you've got $25,000. This is where you compare it to other people. You are the 25th percentile. And I want to see, there's a better comparison tool in here somewhere. I don't think this is the right website. Let me see if I can go find it. This is a really fun thing to do. Let's see, is it this? You can see how you compare to the rest of the world. Really the rest of the United States. No, this isn't it either. Oh no. It's not it either, damn it. There was a really, really good one that was fun. Fat Fire Woman? No. I'll try one more. If I can't find it, we'll go back to the other one. Alright, we'll try one more. If it's not this one, we'll go back. Net worth calculator. Alright, this will have to do. Somebody give me their net worth. I want to know, hey, no fluffing TV, what's your net worth? Oh, we'll wait for him. He likes the square watch list. Alright, so he's got 40,000. It's 11? What the fuck does this mean? I really wish I could have found that correct one that I was looking for. Oh, here we go. Found it. All right. So here, let's have some fun here. Okay. So ignoring the equity in your house, let's say, all right, Kunal, show people why they should invest in a Roth IRA. By the way, get an 805 for me. I don't know what 805 is, but thank you again, Kunal, for that contribution. All right. So Dheeraj Moore says he's got $100,000. So let's look up if he's got $100,000, ignoring the equity in his house. All right. So if you look here, okay, you see a logarithmic scale. It looks like, all right, the average person is very, very poor. But once you start getting past those 25th percentiles, nobody's really making a lot of money until you start getting, everybody kind of logarithmically, in a nice straight line, makes money. And then once you get to the top 1%, you start getting these, little spikes here. But if you would get rid of the logarithmic scale, you can see everybody's freaking poor until you're in the top, 5%. Then you're not anymore. Everybody down here has, jack shit until you get to the very top. You get rid of the logarithmic scale, you can see how much this little spike here at the end really, really matters. So there should be a way to enter our age here. I was so sure. Okay. Oh, net worth by age. Okay. All right, so net worth. Let's say you have $100,000 and your age is 30. All right, ignoring your house. You are at the 83 percentile. So you're way up here and you're like, "Oh, that's good. I'm on the fast track. I'm ahead of most people." Get rid of that logarithmic scale. No, you are barely out of being poor. So how fun is that? All right, Theta Profit. He's 45. He's got 1.1 million. So let's add a 1 to the beginning of this, and he's 45. So let's see. Let's turn our logarithm back on. All right, you are at the 89 percentile. That's great. So 89 percentile. You're like, all right, I'm doing great. Turn off the logarithm. Still doing pretty good, but you are not part of this huge spike. You're not one of these people. Damn, need to increase net worth. Who else has something? Give me your age and your net worth, and I'll add it in here. We'll do mine. I'm 30 years old. Oops. So I am the 1% for my age on a logarithmic scale. All right, so I'm killing it right now, but I better start making some money soon because all of a sudden I'm not part of this spike anymore within a few years. See, now all of a sudden I'm down at the bottom of this spike. I haven't participated in this scoop yet. So that's something I'm going to have to do. Between 30 and 35, things really, really pick up. But you see how much these 1% are worth. Like right here, all right, ignoring, all right, so for my age group, I'm like rich as fuck. But give me a couple years, I better start making some more money or I'm going to get bought. I'm not part of this 1% that has more money than like everybody else. The difference between the 99 and the 98 is $1.5 million. So think about that when you think about how much money we actually have. We're all poor, no matter how much we got. We are poor compared to 50-year-olds. And their 1%, look, it's a nice straight line when you're looking at the logarithm. Get rid of the logarithm, that's it. You better have at least 2 million or you're not even part of that parabola. And it makes sense, people are going to pull away, but all right, let's see. $2,000 at age 17, okay? And then let's do Adam Genzer. He's 17 years old, so he's not quite here yet, and he's got 2,000. You're probably like the 1%, honestly. All right, so if you've got $2,000, all right, you're in the 39. Well, this is including 24-year-olds, so you're too young for this. That's no good. It's no good. Try again. Come back in a couple of years. All right. Dumb Money with McDonkey says 70K, 35. I got bad news for you, man. All right, the 65%. So even there, 35, 70,000, you are in fact above average for your net worth. I mean, the 50 percentile has $20,000 by age 35. So hey, yeah, Kunal, I know you got a couple million, man. You're good. All right. No Fluffing TV says all his tuition, $33,000 a year. However, thank you for the state for paying it all off. Yeah, please take advantage of whatever free you can get. Yeah, getting out of debt is the key here. What else we got? Kellen Bell has 30K at 18 years old. Kellen, congratulations. 18 years old, 30K. That's pretty darn good. You are the 82%, so you're doing great. You're probably not up there with the people that are really killing it, like, you know, the 18-year-olds of Justin Bieber, who probably had $1 million. But not bad. 82% is pretty darn good. All right, Josh Lind has negative 79, age 21. So, negative 79,000. You're at the 1 percentile. Really, you're pretty close to the 2%. So you're not, I assume you have school debt. This is DQY. I'm just going to type it. DQYDJ.com. There, that's the website. It's really freaking weird. All right, 70K at 30. We kind of did that one already. Yeah, I agree with Kunal. Paying off debt should be a number one. Even if you're earning more, you'd be able to, then you'd pay an interest. Yeah, so pay off your debts first. The peace of mind that you get is worth it. All right, 23, 65K. You're probably doing all right too. 91 percentile. Congratulations. You're doing all right. Keep it up. Housekeeping, 9K cash. So you have $9,000 and no debt, but we don't know how old you are, so I can't run it. 22. All right, so what if you have 0 and you're age 22? You're at the 29%, so you should at least go sell some blood plasma. Because look, if you go from 0, all right, if you make about $110, you can go from the 31 to 32. And then again, if you make another $100, you're up to 33. So the difference between the 30 percentile, if you're age 18 to 24, the difference between 30 percentile is from $38 up to 40 percentile, $2,000. So if you can make $2,000, you know, like with OnlyFans or something like that, you can bump yourself up 10% of the population. That just goes to show how equally impoverished this age group actually is, and how many people have negative money. A lot of people are over $100,000 in debt. That's nuts. All right, so then you got to give me a good one. All right, so he's 35 years old, 50K in cash. So he's got about and then 180. So he's got $230,000. Whoops. $230,000, age 39. So you're at the 83 percentile. which is good. You're at the very beginning of this parabola. You got to really start printing to get up into the upper portions of this parabola. But that's if you can. I think if you can bust out of like 70, you're going to be in pretty good shape. And you're at 83, so you're doing all right. Does blood plasma come back? Yes. No fluffing TV. If you sell your blood plasma, it takes you a few hours to get all that blood plasma back. So you can go and you just put some. They put the needle in your arm. They suck out your blood. They spin it around in a centrifuge. They take the plasma out of it, and they give you your cells back. So really all you're losing is some water plus plasma, but that gets recovered very quickly. Have a Gatorade, and all of a sudden you're in good shape. That's the only reason I had any money in college. So, yeah, definitely. All right, you want to count homes? All right, if we include equity in your home, everybody is suddenly a little bit poorer. So this really makes a big difference if you have a mansion. But all right, the difference between the 15 percentile for age 35 to 39 and the 25 percentile. So that 10 percentage is about $5,000. That's enough. That's about a year of blood plasma. So why doesn't it count home equity? You can count home equity if you want to. I don't own a house, and that's why I didn't do it. What happens if I do own a house? Let's see. If I include home equity, what am I at now? 98. Ooh, that hurts. Man, that really hurts. But look at that difference between the 99 and the 98.